Good morning. This is GPNW news reporter Sean Langdon coming to you pre-recorded from Southridge Community of Christ, where even though there is no in-person gatherings at this time because of the pandemic, the Spirit of God is still breathing new life and song into this place and all the places where we worship, not just in our buildings, but in all the places where creation is stirring. And boy, is creation stirring at this time. I can feel it in the breeze, and I can hear it in the chirping of the birds, and I can hear the life moving all around me in the cars nearby on the interstate and on the road. We bring you this breaking news report today because an ancient text is coming to life in inspiring ways and birthing a song of hope in lives of disciples near and far. That ancient text is known as Psalm 98. Let's hear this text that is stirring people at this time. Sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have gotten him victory. The Lord has made known his victory. He has revealed his vindication in the sight of the nations. He has remembered his steadfast love and faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the victory of our God. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth into joyous song and sing praises. Sing praises to the Lord with the lyre and the sound of melody, with trumpets and the sound of the horn. Make a joyful noise before the King, the Lord. Let the sea roar and all that fills it. Let the world and those who live in it. Let the flood clap their hands. Let the hills sing together for joy at the presence of the Lord. For he is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with equity. Now, to help us better understand what is going on in this text, we interviewed some people and asked them, what reasons are there for Community of Christ to sing a new song of hope? Let's hear what they have to say.
The road we've been on is too long, and the cliffs we must climb in life are too steep to keep carrying the weight of loss and regret behind us. Grace and mercy and forgiveness are just within our reach, with each other, but especially with our God. I recall the song written by my youth Sunday school teacher, Barbara Howard, and her husband, Dick, Now in This Moment. Can you even say the title without saying the next line? Now in this day, God is creating and leading the way. So it is in that trust that hope lives, that as we embrace Christ's mission as our mission, we sing a new song of hope, of love, of embracing disruptive spirit, and of holding each other in grace. My husband, Steve, had a rare early onset form of Alzheimer's that maintained his cognitive capacity to the end. He taught me a lesson that I hope I never forget, even if I don't always feel it. A couple of years before he died, he said to me, I have hope, the kind of stubborn hope that exists in the face of certain future tragedy. It's a hope that's aware of the past, the present, and the future possibilities. It's a hope that's fulfilled every time I remember I can still laugh at bad jokes, still be a friend to my friends, still love my children. It's not a hope that requires life to turn out the way I want. It's not a hope that I have to wait for. It's a hope that takes delight in all the things that are still good. That's the hope we have as community of Christ.
Hi, folks. This is Daniel from the Portland congregation. I think one of the reasons for us to sing a new song of hope is the emerging opportunities to better engage with our community. This year has undoubtedly had a lot of conflict and struggle, but I'm convinced that despite the anger and vitriol, this is a long overdue starting point for us to begin understanding, loving, and caring for our neighbors better than we ever have. I want to urge you to look past the discomfort and see where God is pulling us close together.
Yesterday, I was talking to my daughter Jane about her most recent tattoo. It's the image of a nautilus shell, the shape of the spiral in the temple in Independence, Missouri. It serves as an expression of the importance that Community of Christ has had in her life. She mentioned that she's taking a friend this week to get their first tattoo as well. They've also chosen to get a spiral, signifying their commitment to and love for our church in their life. I was struck by how often I hear that young adults don't care about the church. But that's not true. As a bishop, I'm acutely aware of the financial needs of our church. I also know that the money our young adults are making and can give can't replace the level of giving that those adults who have been working their whole lives can afford. I know, though, that means that how we do church in generations to come will look different than how we do it now. But the reminder that church is important to the younger generations, even if the way they are expressing that love is through permanent tattoos, gives me a reason to be hopeful. I'm excited to see where their leadership will take us.
Good morning. The psalmist declares, "O sing to the Lord a new song, for God has done marvelous things. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth." What reasons are there for Community of Christ to sing a new song of hope? We are in a time of pandemic. How many times have we heard those words? There are stories among us that are stories of fear, depression, sickness. Some remain unshared. Sing a new song of hope. Be joyful. In Community of Christ, we know a God who declares the worth of all persons, the sacredness of creation, the pursuit of peace. I see in this community these principles being lived out. I experience a people who speak and live the message of Jesus. From the Zoom meetings, and someday back in that physical experience of diversity of community. We are a people who continue to speak and act and sacrifice in many ways in the living out of that peaceable kingdom of God. Shirley Arena Murray's poetry in Community of Christ Sings expresses our hope. Here in this place where others have been building, we come to claim the legacy of faith. Take in our turn the telling of your story. And though we tremble, speak your hope, your truth. Yes, I know we can be a new song of hope.
Sean just asked me to talk about why I have hope in the future. And I have hope in the future because of a pre-baptismal class I've been taking. I have some exciting, wonderful little children to share the Bible with. And they are so happy to learn about Jesus Christ and about his sacrifice for us and about the miracles that we've been talking about and about God's love, that it just makes me completely crazy to teach them. The baptismal class was over last week, And I told them this would be our last time to meet, and they were so amazing. They said, "Hey, don't you think you can find something else to teach us?" And I thought, whoa, kids asking about God and wanting to spend their time on Zoom learning about Him? How can I not? So I am so hopeful and so thankful for our children and for the opportunity to teach more people about Jesus Christ.
Wow. Thank you, Kay and Daniel, Carrie, Tom, and Dee. Your words are inspiring. I sense that spirit of hope as we listen to you share this morning. To our viewers back at home, I ask you this question too. What reasons are there for Community of Christ to sing a new song of hope in this time and place? It is so easy right now to focus on all the reasons that hope is scarce these days. But as I said, God is still breathing new life and song into all of creation, and where God breathes, hope abounds. This has been Sean Langdon coming to you, pre-recorded, from Southridge Community of Christ. Back to you in the studio.